Well, here it is, a foggy day in West Texas. I'm just outside of Odessa, Texas, which is west of Midland. You kind of know where that is. That's kind of around the Pecos River area, and where they're drilling for oil and all that type of stuff nowadays. I'm at the Odessa Meteor Crater. This is an impact structure from a meteor, a large meteor that struck the Earth about 63,500 years ago. Notice I said 63,000 years ago, not 65 million years ago. We're talking Pleistocene, not the Cretaceous or something like that. All right, so it's really not that old. This crater is golly, I used to know all the dimensions to it and how wide it was and stuff. It's about 15 feet deep right now, 10 or 15 feet deep, and that makes it really so you can see it, but in reality the crater is about 100 feet deep. But the West Texas wind, of course, has filled this in with all kinds of sediment over 63,000 years. It is only one of several craters, possibly, who knows, hundreds or thousands of meteorites struck the Earth here 63,000 years ago when a large bolide broke apart and into several pieces. This was the largest piece here, but there are other craters that you can see out in the oil fields here and around it, at least a dozen that are maybe 10 feet wide or a little more or a little less, things like that. You can find a string of them that go north from here. So a lot of meteors struck here. About 1,500 pieces of meteors have been found in this area. One, the largest, was probably around 300 pounds in size. That's a big meteor. And people for years thought, well, there's got to be a great big meteor in the bottom buried under all this stuff. And they drilled down and did all kinds of stuff and never found anything. There isn't a big meteor piece in the bottom, and there probably never was. And so it broke apart pretty good in the atmosphere or vaporized when it hit the ground here. The types of meteorites that you find here are the nickel iron type. They're called octachondrites, and if you slice one of them, you see this neat little round pattern of what looks pretty much like stainless steel. I mean, they're real shiny on the inside, and it's because they're made out of nickel and iron. And you got to think, nickel and iron, that's a great combination. You can make swords and things out of that. Well, it might be meteorites striking the Earth and pieces being found that blacksmiths were able to fashion into tools and things that really brought about something just beyond the Iron Age, or where they could make swords that were a lot more, lot stronger and things like that. So it's meteorites that probably kind of created the modern age steel and things of that nature. And so that's a thought. Anyway, I don't know that for sure. I don't know if anybody does, but it looks like that might be the case. Anyway, you can see the shape of the crater because of its depth. It's been here forever, but when I say forever, I'm talking about my lifetime. When I first came here, it was just a hole in the ground. There was like a little sign and a tin roof and a kind of a picture, and I'll show you the picture of the sign that was here. I mean, they've got one just like it, if not the same one. And that's all there was here. You had to drive down a dirt road. There was no exit off of I-20 for it. You had to know where to turn. You had to go way west and then turn around and come back and drive down this dirt road for 2 miles to get here. And that was the way it was the first time. The thing about it is that wasn't that long ago. And in the past 20 years, they built a visitor center here that's kind of nice. We can go in and look at meteorites from all over the world, as well as a good size meteorite from the Odessa impact. And now it's a national natural historic landmark. And that's pretty cool. And they get money from the Park Service for it, So who knows what it's going to be in the future. I think it's wonderful. It's one of my favorite places to walk around and look at. It's an impact structure. Oh, the old historic marker is still there that I don't know how many years old it is, and it says it is the second largest impact structure, crater, whatever you want to call it, in the United States outside of the Meteor Crater in Arizona. Well, that's true if you don't count the dozens of other craters that they've since found. In fact, there's one in Texas that's south of here, south of Fort Stockton, called the Sierra Madera astroblem, and it's like 8 miles wide. And so it's huge. It's the kind of thing they discovered it by looking at pictures from space. Somebody went, hey, look, that looks just like it had a central uplift and the ridges and everything. That looks just like a crater from the moon. Turns out it is. So anyway, I encourage you, if you have any interest in rocks and geology or meteors or meteorites or anything like that, come here and check this out. It's just pretty much right in the center of Texas, just west of Odessa, and one of my favorite places to visit. This is my third time here. See you later. See you down the road.